What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I want to talk about why I chose Python as the first programming language to learn, and do I regret making that decision? One of the main motivations for learning to code for me was to be able to do things in the field of machine learning and AI. I was very interested and drawn to this area, especially AI, and I wanted to explore the depth of computation and machine learning, and I knew that deep learning was sort of the cutting edge. I really wanted to be able to do things in the space of deep learning. So Python seemed like the best way for me to be able to get there. One of the other reasons why I chose Python was because I was studying the MIT OpenCourseware course material. I was just literally reading through as many of the courses as I could just to get an idea of what you actually studied when you went to school to study computer science, and especially at a top school like MIT. And one of the things that I noticed was that as far back as 2016, MIT started teaching all of their introductory courses in Python. And it seemed like they were really making this commitment to Python. There was so much learning material available for Python for me to learn the things that I actually wanted to learn. I really wanted to learn foundational computer science. I wanted to be able to really understand the field of computer science and get into software engineering, or at least set myself up for that. I didn't really know that that's what I wanted to do, but that is what I wanted to do. In the early days, I didn't really get too hung up on the decision of what programming language to learn. In fact, instead, what I did was read material that sort of confirmed my idea. I would just look for information that confirmed the idea that Python was the language to learn. And if you Google what's the best programming language to learn, you can very easily find enough material to see that it is Python. And this is something that now I realize that it's just some cliche thing to say that you should just learn Python. Just learn Python, or JavaScript now at this point too. And I think that people just kind of like to say that. Even people who don't even know how to program. They just want to learn how to program. They're trying to learn how to program, and they're just telling everybody that they should learn Python because it's a decision that they made, and they're just trying to confirm that. They're trying to get other people to also jump on that bandwagon. I was doing this for sure. I was definitely doing this. So now in retrospect, was learning Python a good decision? There were times where I felt that learning Python was not a good decision. If I was only going the self-taught route, I actually could see how my time invested in learning Python held me back in a lot of ways, because my path was that I learned enough Python to be able to program in Python at my job. And my job was more of a data science, bioinformatics type job. So I was able to do a lot with Python. But because I was able to do a lot, I wasn't really able to do anything else, because I was just stuck doing Python stuff. And I didn't know the foundations well enough to be able to learn another language quickly enough to be productive. I was able to be productive in Python, so I was stuck with Python. And I didn't learn a second language until I went to university, until my sole focus was on learning the new language. And the way I went about learning the second language was that I was given an assignment that was to be done in Java. So I had to learn Java. I had to be able to learn Java in order to get this assignment done. Having that pressure and that constraint on me, I was able to do it. Before, I had set up in my mind so much that Python was the language that I should use. And in my mind, learning Java seemed like a waste of time to me. It seemed like it wasn't worth it to learn Java. Now, I don't have that perspective anymore. If I were to start all over again and learn computer science and programming from the beginning, I would personally learn multiple languages from the beginning right away. And I would do them at the same time too. A lot of people will say that that's a bad idea. A lot of people will say that you shouldn't do that. You should just choose one language and stick to it and learn that one language. And I totally get why they suggest that. It's because it's easier. It's because it's confusing to learn multiple languages. But that's the reason why I would do it that way. Because when you're learning a new skill, when you have certain challenges that make it more difficult to learn, it's almost like that knowledge that you learn goes deeper. It gets ingrained deeper into your brain. So if you're going to learn two languages at the same time from the beginning, it is going to be very difficult. It is going to be very confusing, but you are going to understand many more of the important features of programming languages and of computer science. And you are going to learn those things from the beginning. And there's less of a chance that you're going to get stuck into one area. And some people might kind of take it for granted, the fact that they've had working opportunities or they've been in school and ample opportunity to learn multiple languages over time. But if you're just starting out in today's world, there's a chance that you aren't going to become a programmer. There's a chance that you aren't going to become a software engineer. There are many different turns along the way that you can take one of these turns and you can just completely veer off the path because you don't know the path. In the beginning, you do not understand the path. Let me give you an example. When I first started, I didn't think that I wanted to be a software engineer. I thought I wanted to go into data. I thought I wanted to do like data science type stuff. And I remember like I would be listening to podcasts, and any podcast related to like software engineering stuff, I would hear it and I'd be like, oh, that's more like software engineering. And I don't want to do software engineering. I want to do AI, machine learning, deep learning. So I was listening to podcasts and talks on deep learning and AI. As I learned more, as I actually programmed more, I realized that it's the engineering and the software engineering part of it that I really like. But there was a very good chance that I didn't realize that. There were many other realities that could have played out where I did not realize that. And I end up going into a career in bioinformatics or data science or something like that. And I am very fortunate that that did not happen to me. I think that it's better to actually just take your time with your learning and to learn multiple programming languages from the beginning and really get a good exposure to multiple languages. Here's the other thing. Many people get hung up on this idea of what's the best first programming language to learn? Should I learn Python or should I learn Java? Is it going to be a waste of time if I start learning Python? I remember being in that state. That is a state. That is a state of consciousness that you can get locked into. Here's the thing. I say do it all. If you want to do JavaScript, do JavaScript. If you want to do Java, do Java. If you want to do Python, do Python. Just do it all and do it fast. Do it as fast as you can. Don't spend a lot of time thinking about it so much. Just start programming. And here's how you should learn to program too. You should try to find some project that you can do. And what I mean by project is a set of features or a specification that you're going to follow, just a minimal example. And you could try to set it up, try to find a project that you could do in the different languages that you want to learn, the 3 different languages that you want to learn, if you're choosing between 3. And code up that small project in each of those languages and get a feel for it and see which one you kind of like more. And if you are leaning more towards one, maybe you have good reasons for that. Maybe you've done some research. So you know, like JavaScript, if you want to build websites, you pretty much just go with JavaScript. If you want to do more data science, you can do any language, but Python's going to be easier in a lot of ways. If you just want to go like the standard software engineering route, then Java is a safe language to learn. There are a lot of good things about Java, and there are a lot of companies that still use Java. I don't have any regrets about learning Python, but I could have had regrets about learning Python if I didn't go to university. If I didn't go and get a master's degree where I programmed in Java, programmed in JavaScript, did a bunch of data science, did a bunch of machine learning, and just really broadened my scope and just was exposed to a lot of different things. I think that's what you need to do. In the beginning, you just need to go with a sort of shotgun approach, and then you narrow down after you've had exposure. Don't just pick one thing, go down one path, because there's a very good chance you're choosing the wrong path for yourself.